The government of Canada has passed a bill through its House of Commons and onto the Senate earlier this year titled the Pandemic Prevention and Preparedness Act, but it looks a lot more like a plan to completely control and regulate numerous aspects of Canadians' lives. With only the mere possibility some pathogen like the bird flu could potentially develop into a pandemic, Bill C-293 will allow the government to grant itself numerous sweeping powers. They would have ability to shut down any industrial animal agriculture, such as chicken farms they claim is a risk to contribute to the pandemic, while simultaneously promoting the production of alternative proteins that reduce the risk, such as lab-grown meat and cricket powder. The government would have the ability to end large-scale fishing, leaving many without a job, and possibly disrupting Indigenous people's way of life. They could remove your right to hunt and fish completely because they've deemed certain species to be high risk. They would be able to limit your access to waterways, federal parks, and national forests because you are the wildlife. There could be a potential pandemic risk. Bill C-293 also aims to establish surveillance systems nationwide and abroad in order to track the sick and those they may have came in contact with, while giving itself the ability to shut down the border. Who would get to determine what illnesses are a risk to begin with, and exactly what measures Canada will take to prevent future pandemics? Bill C-293 gives that power to the Minister of Health, who chooses his own unelected official from the Public Health Agency of Canada to coordinate everything. Possibly someone like Theresa Tam. This bill also paves the way for Canada to give itself over to foreign organizations, such as the World Health Organization and the United Nations during pandemics, making the WHO's pandemic treaty an actual reality for those living in Canada. Planning and preparing for a future pandemic is one thing, but this bill looks like an attempt to completely control the lives of Canadians and will make Australia's COVID tyranny look like a day at Canada's Wonderland.